Good evening, everyone. How are you? How's your day? Hi. We are back live here in CID Live tonight. Okay, tonight we have a fantastic topic for you. I wish all of you are well. You are all at home safely, and also make sure you are COVID free. I believe we know that the cases are still, and also have a very good SOPs in wherever you go. Okay, especially doing your buying of groceries or food outside or wherever you're going. Please take care of your SOPs as well. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening again to all of you. Please feel free to share the link out or share the invite your friends to come in and listen to what we have to share today. Okay, just a 1 hour show, and stay tuned to the end. Why? Because today, okay, tonight we have a guest. I've invited a friend of mine from the banking industry. Okay, to help out if you have any questions to ask him, and throughout the end of the show, you can actually have questions up put up in your Facebook live so that we can answer you live on what are the problems that you face in your current situation when you're facing the banks. All right. So today we are going to discuss about topic banks during MCO, friends or foe. Tonight we will find out whether are they your friends or are they your foe. Of course, this is an interesting topic. We want to know how we can deal with the banks when we are real estate investors and also purchasers as well, owners of property. This is the time for you to know how we can work with the bank, and during this MCO, are they really your friends or foe? All right. All right. So, of course, I believe some of you are new. You have not seen my face. I'm not a property guru or no guru in the industry, but I'm just a simple real estate consultant where I've been aligned for plenty of years behind me. My name is Lauto. Okay, they call me LT in the industry because a lot of people do not pronounce my name. Some call me Lontong Soto. So now easier call me LT. All right, very simple. Only two names. I don't come from China. I'm Malaysian made, born in Malaysia. I have 16 years of experience in this real estate industry, coming to my 17th year. Okay, since 2004, when I was very young. And of course, today I'm also a licensed real estate agent. If you check with the board's website or the board's app, you can check E2733. That's my number. If you just key in my name there. All right, I'm a licensed real estate agent, which I went through the professional course and exams as well, and also the interview with the board. And of course, I'm also the founder, one of the co-founders of CID Realtors, together as the managing director of this real estate firm, which we are situated at Track, just next to Zouk Club, okay, in Jalan Tun Razak. And a few years back, just 3 years back, I've turned into a real estate speaker trainer myself, and I coach a lot of real estate negotiators as well, okay, in the real estate industry. And up to date, CID Realtors, we have a good 600 negotiators under the company serving the nation all over Malaysia. All right. And where am I specialized in? I'm actually specialized in consultancy on marketing of a project, pricing of new projects such as industrial projects, commercial projects. I'm very good at that. All right, I help a lot of clients as well on that part. And I have been handling industrial properties for many years and commercial properties. Okay, I do sell warehouses, rent out warehouses, industrial land. That's my forte. And of course, I've also done corporate advisory through corporate clients about how to expand their business, downsizing or liquidate a property or sell off some of the investments. That's what I do. All right. So basically, if you ask me anything about housing, that's pretty much easy. All right. But of course, today we are going to talk about some banking issues. Okay. So you will know, stay tuned to the end to find out more of the answers tonight. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, without wasting time, we have just a few nice 1 hour and about 1 hour or 50 minutes to an hour to work out. So today we're gonna just speak about something we call banks first. Why banks are not your friend? Now, of course, I think a lot of us are facing a big issue today. All right, we know COVID is here and it's gonna stay. If you're gonna think COVID is gonna go off next year or next month, sorry, my friend, it won't. Okay, we can't. You can't remember. I mean, if you depend on what the old Donald Trump mentioned, say, oh, it will just evaporate and poof, goes missing. No way, it will not happen. This virus is going to stay. Okay, and we are trying to adapt to survive through it, to survive through this pandemic. Okay, so what are we facing now? We have no jobs. Some of the people in the market do not get their jobs. They got fired. Okay, they got no money to pay rent. Okay, loss of jobs, reduction on salary. I believe a lot of people also get salary pay cuts due to the MCO period for the past 1.5 months going, and maybe extended another further 2 weeks towards 2 months. All right, and payment reminders, I believe, has been coming into your doorsteps. Of course, every time when you see these kind of things happening, you hate the bank. Why is this bank doing to me? Why is this doing to me? Why is my life like that? So yes, all of us are facing this issue. If you do not have a good strong income, and then the banks are sending you payment reminders, and then also threatening you to auction your property. That's why some people are going to auction market to buy auction properties. Okay, the last time somebody asked me about auction property, whether is it a good investment. Of course, you'll be taking advantage of some people who don't pay, but it's not nice also to see defaulters happening. We don't want defaulters in Malaysia to happen if we can, but however, that's not the case. All right, so whether moratorium will help you or not, okay, moratorium application and implications, whether it will help you. Towards the end of the talk today, we will actually know whether is moratorium going to help, and how. Maybe if you have any questions to ask us, the banker will be there as well, and I also can answer your questions. Now, when you have loss of jobs or payment reduction on your salary, I'm sure all the banks come knocking. This is the situation we face. Whether you like it or not, they will still send you. The bank will still do their job by doing the letters and sending it to you. We have no choice. But of course, you can still apply your moratorium now. I think some of the banks have also allowed you to go on 6 months automatic moratorium. Okay, but of course, some don't charge you interest, some do. So you have to see which one are you applying for, right? And of course, you see your loan is with which bank as well. I know last year what happened was when March 18 came in, okay, during MCO, real estate business was on a zero income, like us, estate agencies, developers, all basically you have a zero income during then. And of course, a lot of property owners, the loan owners, okay, the loan, you take up a loan, you basically go to a period of moratorium for about 6 months. Okay, so you can go for your higher purchase, whatever loans, especially your property loan as well, 6 months. And however, not what we see in the market is when this moratorium has been taken. Some, of course, some owners did not take it. I think they found out after a few months they didn't want to take it. But when this moratorium came out, is it fair for owners in the market to give rental free period? I mean, rental free period, whether they give you a waiver of rental. Some say yes, some say no, some paid 50, some give discounted 50%, 30%, 70%, plenty of non-standard ways of doing it. But let's look at it. The owners actually, if they do get a moratorium of 6 months, that doesn't mean they do not need to pay anything during these 6 months. The payment is just being forwarded. Of course, your tenure of your loan will be extended, and of course, on top of that, it will be added on with interest charge as well. So this moratorium is not just giving you free; you still need to be charged, which is why I believe a lot of consumers are not aware during the first MCO, but of course now we are aware, and a lot of people who can afford the property, they do not go for their waivers. They do not take the moratorium. They will just still go on with the payments of installments throughout the tenure. So that is what you will see currently in the market. Okay, now in these situations that is happening, of course, banks, they are not going to be your friend. But however, not let's not just say that they are not your friends. They are actually a financial lender. They are a good, I mean, a good place to pinjam money. Of course, you need them to make money. All right. Now, the next thing I want to share with you was whether you want to treat the bank as your enemy. I don't think you want to do that. The banks are good partners. Okay. So, which is why I always suggest to friends, if you want to purchase your first property, or whether it's your second property, whenever you buy a property, you need to know where to get good bankers. You need to find good bankers in the market. Where do we get these bankers? All right, it can be referred by your friends. Okay, I mean, just ask your friends. Don't be shy to ask your friends, or you can even post on Facebook. Get your friends to recommend you a banker, a friend of them who's working in the banking industry. Okay, referrals is one of the ways to start. And of course, online today you can always get online search. You can talk and interview to several bankers and see who is the best that's offering you your best deal for taking up the loan. And never feel shy to just walk into any of the banks. I mean, within the area you're staying, knock on their door, ask them for a person that is for a loan. They can also give you someone recommended. Tell you this: when I started real estate many years back, I also buy properties myself. I also invest in properties, and of course, I have dealt with bankers that have been helping my clients getting their bank loan. But what about me? When I want to buy, most of them are doing SME loan or something like that, so they don't really do the loans that I buy. So where do I get to know bankers? Either I go for referrals, okay, online search, or I even knock the door of some of the banks to ask the bankers to come so I can be served as a customer to get a loan from the bank. Okay, some of the bankers that I do, I mean the banks that I don't have friends, I basically mainly just walk in there to get a friend. Okay, multiple is good. Not to say you want to compare. I mean, compare is one of the good things that you need to get when you get an offer. But of course, you want to have multiple offers so you can see which is the best that's for you. All right, so don't depend. I find it funny when sometimes some people buy things. You tend to just use one banker and you get the banker to offer you rejects your loan or says you are not qualified, then you give up. Now there's severity. You can always go and check with the other. Some banks do look at your company or look at your credit differently. So when they look at they will think differently and they will borrow you. Not every bank will want to. I mean, customer wants to work with one bank, work with multiple ones, so that you know whether what to get the right offer on hand. Get bankers be able to give you a very good advice because you have to think about what good for you and what for you. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, go and find the right banker. Okay, go to a place where you can seek for the best bankers and get them to advise you. It's never wrong to ever always find a banker, go tea time with them, lunch with them, so you can get proper advices from the banks, okay, from the bankers, because when they work there, they know what are they selling and they know how to help you with your loan. A banker can advise you not only on BLR, base rate, a lot of things on top of that, like MRTA or MLTA, a lot of things that you can come from the banking side, which able to tell you whether that's a helpful one or not. Same thing when you choose a real estate agent, you always want to find a good real estate agent to serve you, not just want to make money from you. Same goes to a professional like a banker. You need to find a proper banker to serve you because that banker can serve you a long time until sometimes some of my banking friends are really friends with me for long, they're more than 10 years friends. So we work along together to help our clients to get their financial needs. So look at this as a partnership. Okay, look for a banker as a good partnership as well. Banker that serves your needs. Remember that. All right. Now, uh, you can. There's so many banks in Malaysia. Just walk in the CIMB, you get Maybank. There's so many, and they are they're more than welcome to work with you. That's the most important thing. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, mortgage and loans. Why do we need them? Why is it so good for us? Some people say, hey, might as well I buy property, buy cash. Like same like China, there a lot of people there, they collect money, they buy cash. But in Malaysia, our Asian thinking here is different. Okay, there's a very norm thing in China that normally they buy things they want to buy it in cash. But there is people who buy it with, of course, loan as well. Okay, but it's always good to work with a mortgage or loans. Why? Because it helps you instead of putting all your eggs in one basket and the basket goes break or bust, then all your eggs are gone. So why not have multiple properties with the bank's help in borrowing for owning a property? So which is why when you look at the title, the title allows the banks, the financial institutions to put a charge to the property because you basically work with the bank as your partner when they charge you, but you're still the ketuan kuanan, you're still the owner. So you work collateral together like a partnership to own properties. That's one thing good about banking line. Now, first of all, you do not need to take out so much cash upfront. Some people want to buy property. If you take out so much cash upfront, then you can't own the property. You can't own more than one property because if you have 200,000 on your account, instead of you want to buy a apartment 200,000, you probably can buy a property. Maybe you can buy maybe like let's say 4 to 5 properties between 30 to 40,000 capital outlay. Let's look at that. Of course, with the bank's help, your 200,000 you can borrow up to about a million, maybe up to a million ringgit. All right. So let's look at your credit, your DSR, your debt service ratio when we look at mortgage or loans. And how does it also be good for you? Because you can prolong your payment. Okay, you can prolong your payment via installments. And when you have rent out your investment, your property investments, when you get your rental returns, you are able to pay your installments. And sometimes you even get cash plus, surplus, cash surplus. Instead of coming out money to pay for the loan, you probably have a surplus and you have extra pocket money every month from your rental. Okay, that's one thing good, and you can prolong the payment. Now, interest payments can be also tax deducted. So remember, pinjam the bank. Don't If you buy cash, then you have to declare everything to LH. Then you are filthy cash rich. So why not partner the bank and loan from the bank? Okay, and work with the bank for multiple properties, multiple borrows. You can also bring in partners. Okay, your relatives, your peers, or somebody who wants to buy the property with you. So you can also make you have a borrow together to own the property. You can have shareholding situation, company, kongsi sekali and beli. So you don't have the stress all to yourself. Okay, and you reduce your investment risk. Okay, with the bank's help, you reduce your investment risk. And of course, so when you sell, you just need to pay back the bank the amount that you owe and with interest. And of course, with the capital outlay, if your eyes are good, your research is good, like what I've taught you like previously, the 2 episodes, you must know how to research and find out the right property to invest. And when you get the right one, you have calculated your capital outlay and the margin you can make. That becomes your investment. All right, you become your capital that you have gained. Okay, your capital gain becomes something you can use in your future. So by doing that, after you sell, you pay off the bank, and the bank will be happily letting you earn your capital gain. Let's leverage. Okay, leverage on the strengths of having a borrower. When you borrow, okay, when you borrow, it's not sometimes some people say I don't like to borrow lah. And of course we have this very bad thinking that borrowing from the bank is like you owe along. Actually, it's not. You're not owing along. Okay, you're working with someone who's checking your credit facility, your facility, whether your capabilities, you are good or not. When you are good, and they will work with you a long time. Okay, I give you an example how banks look at us when we are youngsters, when we come out and buy our first property. I used to be one of the guys that in the market I don't like to use credit cards. I don't like to owe the bank. Okay, I always have this thinking that if I take out my ATM from the money when I was youngster, I use finish, then I'm just going to replenish my ATM. After that, I take out cash, I'm going to use again. So I don't want to use credit card. Why? I scared after you use the credit card too much. Okay, but of course, one of my banking friends, when we came out and worked together, he told me, "Hey, no, hey, Lao Tong, you should do this. You should go and borrow the bank, and go and get the credit card. Why? You control yourself. You make sure you use your credit card for your petrol tolls and all your things that you can pay on credit card. Why? You need to record down your credit, okay, so that you every month you use 100,000, sorry, you use 100 ringgit, you pay 100. You use 1,000 ringgit, you pay 1,000 ringgit. As long as you pay off your debts, don't overuse it. And when that record is in the bank, you become a good paymaster. So that's how the bank evaluates you. If you're a good paymaster and your payment records are there, the bank would look, if you have extra point there, so they will think that you are a good paymaster and you are a person who the bank can borrow. Okay, that's how the bank checks on us and also research on us, whereby you research the bank as well. So make sure, if you haven't got a credit card, get one. If you're worried about they giving you a credit of, like, say your income is 5,000, they give you 15,000. No, tell them no, you don't want the 15,000, just go on a 5,000 limit. Okay, just go on a 5,000 limit. You put an FD there, 5,000, pledge it 1 to 1. So your credit is only up to 5,000. You can have these kind of facilities to control yourself. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure all of you would have taken advice to either go for a credit card or get something from the banks to work, so that you have a credit history with them, so they can actually see whether you are a good borrower or not. All right. when the banks think that you're good over the years. Of course, now after 16 years I've been working with the bank, I've bought multiple properties, and of course properties that I've pinjam the bank money also. So the bank will be happy to pinjam me money, because why? They know, hey, look, this guy is okay, he can pay, and he's working hard to pay as well. So at least you won't go whoops hilang, the kind of borrower you are. So important, how you look at loans and mortgage is not a bad thing. It's not that you borrow, oh, it means you are pokai, you got no money. No, 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 no. It's because you want to work with the bank. Your money outlay is lesser, all right? And it helps you ease off your cash flow as well, all right? Now, the other thing I want to discuss today is how you going to make bank to be your better partners. Of course, in this kind of pandemic period, we are in a period of COVID 19. Okay, COVID 19 is something that all of us don't want. It's a pandemic, and some people are not. Some people are retired. How they can use the banks to actually cash out some money to invest. Now, there is a lot of people today now who, if they lost their job, they refinance the property to have some outlay to go and use so that they can actually survive the pandemic period. Now, I know it's not nice for our kerajaan to say, hey, look, go and take out money from your EPF. So EPF is something that all of us do not want to take out your money, because it's your retirement funds. So if you have bought a property, okay, and your property has made money, look in the sense that you can refinance the property for a better rate. Today, the lending rates are much more lower. And of course, through this refinancing packages, you can reduce your monthly installments, and in fact, you can also cash out some cash to use for the current pandemic, or even invest on better properties. Opportunities are there for you today. So if you want to purchase a property out there for now, there will be plenty of opportunities. So make sure you have replenished your bullets to go out and find out where is the best place to invest. Okay, refinancing your property, problem with paying your loan and installments. If you have that in mind now, think about it. If you have a good property that's already on hand, refinance it. But of course, you still have to look at the income and make sure your property is also making good income outlay, so that the banks can value it and give you a better refinancing package where you can come up with some money. All right. And of course, like you definitely do have some high interest packages where you will be paying more by a few $100 extra. If you have somebody, if you have a good banker today, find them and ask them to do a planning for you and see whether your property, if you refinance it, how much can you save from there? How much can you save? Okay, and also reducing your years of payment. Okay, you need to if you can do that, refinance some money out and cover some other payments, and get yourself passive income from some of your properties as well. You can also do that. Okay, you can also do it. Cashing out to prepare for better investments. That's what I'm advising you now. If you have a property, if you do not have, don't worry about it. Go and find out, like my first episode. Go back to our first episode to teach you how to find the right property from buying your first investment. All right, and your investments slash real estate has made money in book value, allowing you to work in more cash. If your property, like I said, if your property has a substantial gain, then refinancing comes in. If you do not have a substantial gain, there's no point, unless you want to reduce your interest or your installments, monthly installments. But then again, there'll be costs involved, like loan agreement. So you factor that in, whether is it a right move for you if you need to do that by saving. So don't simply just go and people tell you, the bank tell you to refinance, you go and refinance. So you need to do your calculation as well. You need to check why is it that you're doing it. All right, so refinancing do helps you, but you have to go and find out the property value. Now, another way for you to find out the property value is not just asking the bank. You can also ask your friendly real estate agent, your friendly valuer friend, to ask you to value and see what is the latest price engagement for the property. Where roughly you go to the bank, they also give you the rough valuation. And of course, if the value has gained substantially, then refinancing becomes the point for you to do, and you can look for the bankers to do that as well. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, to let you know what a bank helps you. Okay, the bank is not an alone. The bank is a fantastic partner, right? Partnering with your bank helps you with majority payment for all your investments, and you can leverage with them and ask them to give you more money to go and buy more properties if you're a good paymaster. So why not work with the bank? Why want to work yourself? Where I mean, one of the most important is your own investments. You can work with the bank, but if it's your own property, if you're buying your own property, of course we try to pay as less interest as we can. We can pay off, we pay off faster. But investments, if you are going to make your bank your partner, you're going to the bank will definitely earn from your decision, but interest. They're only earning interest rates from you. So the bank is not going to take your capital gain. Capital gain is going to be owned by you. So why not make them your good friend? Right? And it also, the banks are reducing the risk of an investor or owner because you don't need to take up so much money. And they said, don't worry, as long as you are investing, the bank is as though making a decision, investing in your decision. That's why the bank will be more than willing to become your partner if you choose to be the partner to the bank. Okay, and having them is good debts. You're not buying a terrible thing. Of course, you have a capital gain from your property. That's why this is a fantastic good debt. Why we name it a good debt is because if you have investments, they're making money for you, and the bank is also making the interest, not your capital gain, then you are doing a very good partnership. So why leave the banks out of your business? Work with the banks. Okay, work with the banks. You can have multiple properties instead of one with full cash on it. That's what I want to tell you. And the sum of it, it is the best way for you to do business if you have a bank friends with you. And of course, some of you will ask me also, is it good if we buy a property that is got cash rebate? Oh, developer give you money back. Bank cash out now. Good, interesting topic. I think some of you will be wanting to ask this question. What if a developer offered you cash rebate? Then of course you marked up the property high up, and then the bank borrows you the money, and then you come up with the money. Then you are supposed to use the money for your renovation or some payments for the property. Instead, many people don't control because once they get the property and the money, they will use it for other things. If they go and buy car, then die lah. Okay. If they go and buy other things which is not substantial to the property, they are investing the money elsewhere that you are still supposed to pay back the bank. Now, when that happens, I wouldn't want to say that is good partnership with the bank or not, but of course, banks will not like that because if that is going to be worked out by developers doing that, and if you use the money correctly, then it's fine. If you don't use the money correctly, then it's not right. Banks are not supposed to sell or borrow loans based on markup. That's the rule of thumb. Remember this. There's a lot of people teaching you how to do multiple submission loans or even mark up the property. When you mark up the property, you are basically cheating the bank money. Listen to me carefully. I'm telling you on a layman basis, if you are going to cheat the bank's money to do that, you have to be extra careful. Okay, you have to be extra careful. So my words for you on that section will be further. If you want to know more about this, you have to meet me and discuss about it because that one is more private and confidential. But there are a lot of people. If you're supposed to get a markup case and or trying to get the bank to give you more money instead of you putting your down payment, now that is actually wrong. Just to share with you on the very public sector to let everyone know what is right and wrong in doing a bank's making your bank as a partner for investment. All right. Banks always love to work with good borrowers. Remember that they want to have good investors. They want to have good borrowers so that they don't need to come and chase and knock your door. Banks will be happy if you come forward to them and tell them, look, I have this payment problem. I want to defer. I need some help. So the banks will give you time. Now, listen carefully. Banks are also human. The whole conglomerate is actually still run by humans. So they are humane. Don't worry. The banks are not crocodiles coming to bite you or kill you. They don't want you to die. Because if you die, they die. They suffer. They want your business. They want to give you time. Okay, if you can't pay, they won't want to give you. The banks won't want you to die. Which is why you see some of the big companies why they borrow so much. And when a pandemic like this happened, I'm sure the companies have things to discuss with the bank to ask the bank for easing off their payments during the pandemic period. Everyone is suffering, not only you. Okay, banks work with good decision making. Bankers choose. Now banks are also investment firms. They also know how to, they are basically taking, if you have an FD with the bank, the banks are basically using fixed deposit, using the money to invest in somewhere else to make money faster. Same like what EPF is doing, same like what PNSB is doing, same like what PNB is doing. All these trust fund, all are the same. Okay, you are, if you're investing in the bank's decision, bank is using the money for investments that they can make money, so that they can also, the bank will use several ways to make money. One is of course mortgage, refinancing this part, credit card, so many things for them to make money, insurance. So in partnering your bank, okay, and when they want to choose a decision maker, they will also want, basically the decision maker of a company becomes a partner to the bank. Okay, and the bank evaluates them. They want to see whether, is this the right person I want to work with? Is this the right person I want to borrow? Are we going to make a good investment on this company or on this individual? When they make decisions, the banks will think this way. So my advice to you is to find a bank to partner with. Maybe the bank, if you're one day you're so good and you're so big, the bank will come look for you. The bank will knock on the door, hey, come, please come borrow money from me. I want to work with you. Okay. Last time when I was younger, when I came out and do pro real estate, I always think that, hey, bank, you sure not borrow so much. Bank after knock your door, bank this, bank the bank scared. After that, I don't pay money, they come kacau me, they come knock your door. They are also alone with license, not alone without license. So I always think this way. But today, I've worked so many years and so hard. Of course, now I've also bought properties that even banks will come to my doorstep. Hey, look, Mr. Lau, can you try to give us a chance to borrow? Why the banks think this way? Because the banks is also looking for people like us to be partners. So that's the reason I'm sharing with you, to let you know how you can find a bank to be your partner. All right. Partnering your bank is one of the best choices in your life if you choose to invest in real estate, because you can never do it alone by yourself. Now, ladies and gentlemen, okay, if you all have, I mean, just leave a comment, okay, so that when I'm free, when I look back at the comment, I can also reply you. If you have actually bought a property, or you have made the bank your partner, all right, give me a five. Okay, just give me a five on the comment there, because when I look back later on, I can come and comment, talk to you as well. If you have done this, okay, just remember what I tell you. Check out more banks, know more bankers, find out who can work with you as well. Because if you can partner a few banks, wow, you got a cash cow behind you. You got someone who can willing to borrow you money to make decisions in the real estate industry. Now, whether you like it or not, today pandemic, EMCO, FMCO, all the MCO come out, all the PKPB all come out. Some worry. Some may even think bank send reminder. I'm hoping the bank will die. Somebody will bomb the bank, or the bank will close down. This bank will close down. The pandemic period, they cannot tahan. Listen, don't lie to yourself. Okay, the banks are here to stay. Deal with it. They are not going to go off. They're going to be around. They have been around since the early 20th century. So whether you like it or not, if you have already borrowed or if you haven't borrowed, find out how to work it out with the bank. Okay, there might be mergers happening soon. Okay, if the economic situation worsens, this one, I'm not an economist, but if you look at every economic downturn, banks tend to merge. Okay, or some financial institutions will always merge to help each other, or this kind of mergers will happen. I don't know, but I wouldn't say that guarantee you it will happen. It will happen if this thing continues to worsen, and some will want to just merge and make their lives easier. All right. Always remember, what money you have borrowed, it has to be returned. So you like it or not, is either you declare yourself bankruptcy, the bank sue you, or you work out with the bank on how you want to pay it. We are human, okay? We can go and work out with a human and how to make things ease off so that you can easily pay off the things when you work harder and get the opportunities you have in front of your doorsteps. And negotiate, okay? Negotiate with your bankers and your bank. Talk to them, talk to the credit facility, the credit person. How are you going to work it out? The banks, trust me one thing, the banks still human. All those people at the credit, they are still human. Okay, they want recoveries as well, they're all still human. It's how you're going to sit in your table, have a discussion, think about how you want to pay it. Okay, answer their calls. Don't just go, oh sorry, I'll never answer the call, throw the phone away, then you die. Then the bank will go make you bankrupt. What for? Okay, banks are still human at the end. Let me tell you this: they are still human. They are not. I can't tell you much, but they are not alien running. They are human. So why not? Why not? You don't just sit down and talk to them. That's how I believe. When the problem arises, you need to just work out how to solve the problem. So don't run away from your problems. Okay, don't insult the bank by not responding to their calls. That's not the right thing to do. The only right thing to do is to sit down or to even have a Zoom session or face the bank. Okay, how are you lost your, let's say you're in the situation where you lost your job. So look, Mr. Bank, I've lost my job, I need some time. Okay, the loan moratorium will work it out for you, so 6 months you have to go and find somewhere to get a job. And there will be a lot of people, whether, and when you talk about job, there's a lot of things. Maybe I can offer you a job towards the end, but at the end of the day, you still need to find an opportunity to work out your salary and your income in order to pay whatever you have borrowed. Those of you that has previously listened to some of the property gurus in market, submitted for multiple loans, purchased a few properties not within your means, I'm not wishing you good luck. Okay, I'm wishing you uh, best of advice is needed for you. Where can you get it? You can always get it from people like us, real estate consultants, or lawyers, or some bankers. Get to know us, find out what we can advise you with the property uh, that you have kena sangkut. Okay, some of you kena sangkut before, multiple loans, and then you got the property, now cannot rent out, now cannot sell. And some of you bought during DIBS time, and then now you have the property, you can't you rent out, and your installments are higher than your rental. You want to get rid of it. How? Of course, there is ways to do it, but it's best that you call us for a proper real estate consultancy on this matter. All right. So make sure don't insult, work out with them and respond to them. Okay, work with the bank and build a fantastic relationship, because by having that, you will ease off a lot of your problems from your financing side, and you will be able to ease off your headaches as well through your cash payments and so on and so forth. All right. So I need to advise you something now, okay? Because if you have a lot of questions, throw it up in a comment. Our team here will put up the questions for us. But meanwhile, we have some time. I need to bring in my friend. I'm going to invite my friend here from UOB. He's a high managerial position. Okay, he's going to be coming in online here, talk about some loan moratorium things with us, and of course, as you have read the news, I think just few days back on Malaysia Kini, okay, one of the news actually came out with this pay nothing now, suffer more later. So I like to invite my friend in first. Okay? His name is Lawrence Lau. Is he in?
Yes, I mean,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Lawrence. He's from UOB Business Banking. So I've just worked out some fantastic things with him, and he's online live here with us today. All right, Lawrence. I think there's a lot of audience here who want to discuss what we have here tonight. It's about this loan moratorium. I think few days ago, we saw in Malaysia Kini, we saw this news. They were saying that pay nothing now, suffer more later. Is our audience here going to suffer more later if they really take out the moratorium during this period?
it depends on their situation at the current moment, lah. Of course, suffer later, what they mean is there is accrued interest. And then there was this sensitive topic whereby, people from the previous moratorium, the last year's moratorium, they were confused on the compound interest versus the accrued interest. So they felt cheated by the banks. But actually, it really depends on the customer situation at this current moment, lah. If their cash flow is very tight, if they're eating into their emergency funds, then it's highly recommended to actually take up the moratorium lah. But if you can afford to pay it, of course, you don't get the accrued, you don't get incurred accrued interest lah. So that's the best lah, of course.
There's one of the articles I've seen also from the news online. I think in the Star online, they were saying that Maybank is offering a 6 month moratorium that does not charge any interest. Is that true?
As
Have
far as
you
I
heard about
know,
that?
I'm not too sure about that, but
No, all
for
moratoriums are supposed to be brought forward, right? Your payments,
yes,
and
it's
then
a
you will be charged
deferment of 6 months. Yes,
6 months, and of course you get your I mean your interest will be compounded later on, and you have to your tenure will probably prolong, correct?
correct. Depending on your negotiation with the bank, lah, because there are a couple of options, whether they decide to extend the tenor, or they can actually pay off the accrued 6 months accrued interest right on the seventh month onwards. Depends. You can just actually talk to your banker, and they can advise you on what suits your needs, lah.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you have any questions for Lawrence? If you want to ask any questions from Lawrence, I think it's time to just pop it up. Then my team here can also pop out some questions. And meanwhile, Lawrence, as you know, currently we are all in this pandemic period. What is the numbers on your side? Do you see more people doing refinancing, or there's? I mean, if it'll be a joke if I'm just asking you saying, "Hey, I think Lawrence, there's still a lot of people buying properties, right?" I think that's one of the. I mean, because bullshit I ever asked her. But I mean, what is the numbers right now? More refinancing? Is it hard to get a
That
loan application approved as well now?
of definitely approvals. The credit appetite of the bank definitely has become more. They are more picky lah. But in terms of customers coming to the bank, there are customers coming to the bank to explore on refinancing, because actually this is the right time to explore outside, because the rates at this current moment it's at a very low point. So actually just go talk to your banker, see what you can do to refinance out. Especially pay attention to certain banks where they have this thing called zero moving cost, whereby the bank to actually absorb the moving cost of when you refinance from one bank to the other bank. So if there is such a promotion, then highly recommended to actually look to refinance out.
All right, thank you, Lawrence. Okay, we have a question for you, Lawrence. Can I see the question popping up? All right, from Joseph Tin. Islamic loan is more flexible than conventional loan, right? Lawrence, what do you think about this?
I don't know if the word is flexible or not, but because Islamic loans is different than conventional loans where they cannot charge profit on profit. So it's because of the Sharia compliant thing. So that's why flexible, no. But if you have a Islamic loan right now, then yes, it is actually good, because you won't get the compound interest after the 6 months. So actually, you would save on the interest on the last.
Okay. All right, one more question. One more question up. Let's see what's the question about. Latest moratorium have compounding interest. Any ideas how much need to be paid later? By Sean Lim.
There is
What
no
do you think,
compounding
Lawrence?
interest on the 6 months, but after that, yes, there is, and there's accrued interest. So, okay, just take like a rule of thumb. If you have a 500,000 conventional loan, property loan, the accrued interest would come up to be, let's say, 10,000 ringgit for the 6 months moratorium. But during that 6 months, there is no compound interest. That means there's no interest charged on interest, but there will still be the 10,000 ringgit. So depending on your options of repayment later on, you can tell the bank that, look, extend my tenor for 6 months and have a bullet repayment at the end of the tenor. Then the bullet repayment will consist of your owings of the accrued interest for the previous moratorium.
All right. At least what you have mentioned today is really some same thing that I've been letting our audience know today. How we want to make the banks our friends more than foe, huh? All
Mm.
right. There were some more questions. Three questions. Can we see the questions as well? I need the volume a bit increased. Is it a good choice to apply moratorium during this period? Because some advisors say if you apply moratorium, then you will very difficult to get a loan from bank within a year. Because the moratorium will show on secrecy. Roland Wong, what do you think, Lawrence? Will it affect your borrowing, your DSR, or how you're going to apply the loan later on?
So Bank Negara has already instructed the banks to not show a restructuring tagging on the customer secrets. So partly true, as in like if you apply for the moratorium, it will not show up on your secrets report. However, the bank that you are having the loan with, they will know that because you applied the moratorium, so they know that you are having a cash flow situation, cash flow tightening in this current moment. So within that 1 year, they will they will have, because at the end of the day, credit approvers are all humans. So there is this
Yeah.
perception that, look, 6 months ago you had problem. Now you're telling me you want another loan after this moratorium. Does it make sense or not? So they will ask more questions. But to answer your question, no, it does not appear on your secrets. Other banks will not know about it,
Even
but your
I
bank
think
will.
some of us, when we were not aware with last year's moratorium, most of the people, just even investors who could pay, they also took up the moratorium because it's like we do not. But that one didn't affect us from borrowing now, right?
Correct.
It didn't
Actually, it's
affect us
case to
at
case
all.
basis. If they see that, look, you took it up, maybe you had some other options, you would like to take that money and maybe invest somewhere or something like that. The banks will actually analyze your bank statements, your income, and look that to see that actually, in fact, there's no impact from this pandemic. So if you can prove all those, then I think there should be no issue for you to apply a new loan from the bank.
Okay, fantastic. I think there's two more questions. We just take up these two more questions. What's the next question? Is there a difference of interest calculation between hire purchase loan and mortgage housing loan? Jason Chu. Lawrence, what do you think? I
Sorry.
think simple question for you.
Okay, higher purchase loan usually it's on a flat rate calculation, whereas a housing loan it's on a monthly rest reducing balance calculation. So two different calculations. Always ask your banker what is the effective rate of the loan that you're taking, you're applying for.
All right. And one more question. One more question, my team. One more question for Lawrence, bank for the banking side. Kelson Key, if we applied to moratorium during June 2021 for 3 months deferment and July moratorium offers 6 months deferment, will the first application become 6 months automatically? A good question. Will it, Lawrence?
Yes, it will be automatically just opt in, send in the application form to the bank. If you have applied for the 3 months the 3 months TRA application prior to the automatic moratorium, the bank will actually adjust it back to 6 months.
All right. Thank you, Lawrence. So, Lawrence, to conclude what we are discussing today, I think we see loan moratoriums. Pay nothing now, suffer more later. Will you conclude that people will suffer later if they don't pay now?
Case to case basis lah. I mean, if you have
Case to
no
case.
problems at this moment, then of course don't cari pasar go and apply lah. Just continue paying lah.
Yeah.
But if really there are some people that needs this help, then of course it's a good idea to do it lah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you see, I like the way Lawrence answers us. It's always bank side always answer you this way one, case to case basis. Correct, Lawrence? We look at case
Correct.
to case.
Correct.
Not we evaluate all the case differently. Not everyone is a bad apple. There's good apples within the apples that you get in the basket, right?
Yes, definitely.
Right, Lawrence.
Correct.
All right, Lawrence. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. He's
Thank
also
you for your
Lao,
time.
the same surname as me, but we all maybe from the same ancestors. All right, Lawrence. Thank you very much for coming in tonight. Okay,
Okay,
we'll
thanks for
see you
inviting
soon,
me.
soon when the pandemic is open. We'll see you for lunch. Thank you very much, Lawrence.
Okay,
Thank you
okay.
very much. All right.
Bye.
So, ladies and gentlemen, during MCO, like you see, my friend just came in, Lawrence Lau from UOB, again, the business banking side. Uh, the thing that he mentioned just now, case to case. So when you choose your bank to be your partner, okay, the bank will always analyze and also look at you and see whether you are the right person to work, because you are a case to case basis. Okay, you are a case to case basis. If you look back at Malaysia Kini, read up the news that just came out, I think 2 days ago. Okay, when I saw it on the Malaysia Kini, it was saying mentioning about this loan moratorium, very pay nothing now or suffer later. Go through the article, okay, go through the news, and you get to read up. You can also check it out. I believe not everyone will suffer. If you do not need it, just go with the flow and pay. If you are still collecting rentals, pay your loans. Okay. So most importantly, you see this pandemic as an opportunity. Work with your bank, get some finances out, like what Lawrence has mentioned. Get some of the money if you have some properties to refinance. Prepare yourself for battle. Go and look for good investments and reinvest your money. Now is the best time for you to buy, because it's good when it's low, when the market is down. That's where you get people who will sell to you at the rates that you want. Okay, it's a buyer's market. So look at that situation properly. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, remember to come into cid.my, www.cid.my. If you want to find out more about what we have in CID Realtors, okay, we are a real estate firm situated in KL, and we have 9 offices plus HQ, 10 offices all around Malaysia. All right, and do me a favor, having a Play Store. If you're using an Android phone, download the CID Toolbox. Okay, this CID Toolbox enables you to become your property toolbox. Okay, it's something that we have prepared under CID. You in your real estate needs by calculating your mortgage and so forth. And this is a very fantastic app. It's free of charge. Rate it and review it once you have used it. Okay, just go to Play Store and download CID Toolbox. It's not available for App Store, not yet, but it will be available soon when it's right. Your first property or want to look for your investments, feel free to log into cid.com.my. Okay, our cid.com.my. This is a website where you can choose the residential properties, loan, or commercial or industrial properties as well. Okay, get in touch with our negotiators. You can find out what properties they have. You can go and arrange it with them to see when the pandemic is open, or even some of them they have the virtual reality for you, VR. You can also be sent a VR address to look into the property that maybe will be your dream house one day. Okay, and try to log into us and find out more from us. And of course, if you lost your job, ladies and gentlemen, don't be sad. Call us, okay? We can work out an opportunity for you. Or you can also go to our website, cid.my, click on the join us there, okay? Submit to us your fill up the form and submit it to us, okay? Then we will be in touch with you how we can work out a certified real estate negotiator's course for you to become a real estate negotiator even during pandemic period or even the economic downturn. Real estate business still survives, still continues. Why? Because you are basically doing one of the best business in the world. It is called shelter. SHELTR. Three basic necessities of life. Okay, food and water, clothing and shelter. We are in the shelters business. So click here at cid.my, find out more and talk to our people. We will be in touch with you. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, also please follow us on social media, especially me. My name is LOWTUNG underscore, or you can see me on my Facebook page as well, LOWTUNG. Leave me a comment if you feel that our show has been helpful to you throughout this pandemic period. All right. And there's one part I think we missed out. Stay tuned for next week. Okay, stay tuned for next week. We have the next episode. Our next episode will be talking about lawyers, how we can work with a lawyer. Now today we have found out whether banks can be our fantastic partners, okay, and how banks treat you during MCO, whether you are a friend or whether they are your friend or foe. I think you have known from what we have shared with you tonight. Basically, they are more a friend than a foe to us, and especially like my friend who just came up. We are more than happy to work with banks because banks are fantastic partners to invest real estate investors and business owners as well. Okay, be part of us and stay tuned to our next episode for next week. All right, we'll be talking about getting a good lawyer, how to hire a good lawyer to in your real estate needs. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, ask question now if you have any. If not, to me, to sum up, basically, Steady Realtors will serve you all nationwide if you need any real estate help. And to sum up today's fantastic talk, make sure you find a good banker and work out the best deal with your bank. Is there any questions? One last question. We are waiting for the one question. Don't have, huh? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for staying tuned tonight. It's a fantastic 1 hour show. If you are going out of your house, please remember your SOPs and take care of your family. Okay, this pandemic will go on. We have to overcome it. And sad to say, England lost the European Cup yesterday on penalty shootouts. It was a fantastic night. Okay, I was surprised to see the Wembley Stadium in full capacity, even though UK is recording more than 35,000 cases per day, and you can see that the other countries are already starting to adapt and survive with this virus in the society. So, we hope that our government will lead us and to the next directions for our. We wish to hear from as possible, so we can start our daily again and go back this at work. So I wish you all the best. Take care of yourself. Stay healthy. Thanks, and from the team, we love you. Good night. Celaka, cakap sudah bagi. Apa tu?